While most headlines from the year 1992 surround the Cricket World Cup and Pakistan's comeback from near elimination to lifting the trophy in Melbourne, we'll save all of that for part 2 of this recap, since there is a lot else that happened during this calendar year. At the turn of the year, Pakistan was in the middle of a test series versus visitors Sri Lanka. The 3 test matches being held at Sialkot, Gujranwala and Faisalabad. With the first 2 tests being drawn affairs, Sri Lanka put up 240 runs on the board in the series decider, courtesy of a blistering knock of 81 by Sanat Jayasuriya, who came in to bat at number 6. In response, Pakistan's opening pair of Ramiz Raja and Shoaib Mohammad put up a century stand before the rest of the batting order collapsed like a house of cards. Sri Lanka, however, could not make the most of the little lead that they had secured, as Wasim and Waqar joined hands in wreaking absolute havoc with the ball. Pakistan was set 185 runs to win, a target that they eventually chased down, losing 7 wickets in the process, securing the series 1-0. The 2 sides then engaged in a 5-match ODI series in which Pakistan trounced Sri Lanka comprehensively, winning the series 4-1. A young Inzamamul Haq topped the run charts in this series, scoring 326 runs at an average of 81.5, including 2 scores of 100 plus. On the bowling front, Aqib Javed proved to be the most effective bowler, taking 8 scalps in 5 outings at 17.5 apiece. After hosting Sri Lanka, Pakistan set sail for Australia and New Zealand, where they were to participate in the Cricket World Cup, which is to be covered at length in part 2 of this series. Beyond that, Pakistan toured England for a long and ill-tempered tour. Imran Khan had hung his boots after leading Pakistan to World Cup glory, and Javed Miandad was now at the helm as national team captain. In the 5-match ODI series, Pakistan were overpowered by an English unit seeking revenge, as they only managed a solitary win at Lord's, succumbing to a 4-1 thrashing at the hands of Graham Gooch's men. The 5-match test series was sandwiched between the ODIs, in which Pakistan handed test caps to World Cup winners Amir Sohail and Inzamamul Haq, as well as pace bowler Ataur Rahman. In the first test at Edgbaston, Captain Javed Miandad and his deputy Salim Malik both made big hundreds in a monumental stand of 322 runs, as Pakistan were put into bat first by the hosts. With 446 for the loss of 4 wickets on the board, Pakistan declared their innings, after which Alex Stewart and Robin Smith responded with tons of their own, ensuring the game fizzled out into a draw. The second test at Lord's turned out to be an all-time classic, a game still fresh in the memory of Pakistan cricket fans. On the back of a Waqar Yunus fifer in the first innings and a Wasim Akram four-fer in the second, Pakistan required just 138 runs to win the game. The visitors, however, were rocked back early on in their run chase, as Chris Lewis sent all 3 of Ramiz Raja, Asif Mujtaba and Javed Miandad backing for ducks to reduce Pakistan to 18 for the loss of 3 wickets. By the time Moeen Khan was dismissed, Pakistan were reeling at 81 for 7 and looked down for the count. To England's dismay, however, it was Pakistan's star bowling duo of Wasim and Waqar that combined yet again, this time with the bat, for a heroic and unbeaten stand of 46 runs for the 9th wicket that took Pakistan across the line in dramatic fashion. The enduring image of Wasim Akram with his World Cup helmet on, bat raised in one hand and a stump in the other, hugged by his teammates all around, is etched in memory. The third test at Old Trafford was another drawn encounter, the highlight being Amir Sohail's magnificent double 100 in the first innings that propelled Pakistan to a score of 505. Once again, Wasim Akram delivered with 5 wickets, while Aqib Javed accounted for 4, a performance which left a sour taste as Aqib was fined 50% of his match fee due to an altercation with umpire Roy Palmer. This bad blood took centre stage in the 4th test at Leeds, with both teams and fans turning on each other and the umpires alike. Opting to bat first, Pakistan were bundled out for a disappointing first innings total of 197, with Salim Malik's excellent knock of 82 leading the way. Michael Atherton joined captain Graham Gooch to put on an opening stand of 168 runs, with the latter registering a Herculean century. Salim Malik turned up once again with the bat, scoring an unbeaten knock of 84 as Pakistan were rolled over for 221 in the second innings, leaving England 99 runs to level the series, a task which the hosts completed with 6 wickets left in the tank. The Oval in London was the scene for the final test match, a series decider that had reached fever pitch, with players, fans and journalists all heavily invested. To Pakistan's delight, a Wasim Akram masterclass blew England away cheaply, with the hosts left questioning their decision to bat first. Recording figures of 6 for 67, Wasim single-handedly accounted for the middle and lower order, stagnating the hosts' progress at 207 runs. Better yet, Pakistan's batters came to the party as well, securing a mammoth lead of 173 runs, after which Waqar Younis ran riot in the second innings with figures of 5 for 52. As a result, Pakistan required just 2 runs to win, which Amir Sohail made quick work of to hand Pakistan a celebrated 10-wicket victory and 2-1 series triumph on English soil. Pakistan ended the year with another trip down under, first for the Benson and Hedges World Series in Australia, followed by a tour of New Zealand. As world champions, who had won on Australian shores no less, the Pakistanis were expected to provide stern competition to hosts Australia and perennial World Series winners, the West Indies. The men in green commenced the World Series by defeating the West Indies in a nail-biting tournament opener by 5 wickets. Their next game against Australia turned out to be another cliffhanger that was ultimately tied with points shared. From there on, however, the world champions lost every match in the Tri-Series and were thus knocked out of contention for a place in the final. Down in New Zealand, Pakistan won the first of 3 ODIs in Wellington before losing the remaining 2. A year which started with a test match victory in Faisalabad, ended with an ODI loss in Auckland, and amongst all highs and lows, Pakistan managed to win its first world title, which will be covered in part 2 of this video series.